Welcome, friends. 3:33 is the perfect time to start a happy hour reset. Okay. Can you hear me? Yes. Hello. Okay, I am going to pull up my notes here. So, this is the introduction to a series I am doing. It is called the Happy Hour Reset, and we are talking real estate reset. We are talking relationship reset, and we are talking about emotional reset, like the nervous system reset, so we can respond to life rather than react to it, right? Because it's no fun when we are reacting. So, if you are a realtor or an investor, hard money lender, and you would be interested in joining me on some, joining me for, I'm trying to find my notes here, joining me Tuesday through Friday or one of those days for this little time slot, 15-20 minutes to share your story. What have you experienced in your journey of real estate or lending or whatever it is? And how have you created some magic there? How have you, what do you have to share? What would you like to share? That's the gist here. I would like to share that there are many different ways to view things, and real estate is one of those things. If you are a realtor, you will look at real estate in one way, right? You will see a commission because you're representing a buyer or a seller, right? And there's not a lot of room outside of that box. Now, when you jump into the investor shoes, which I didn't even know that there was an investor shoes as a realtor. I was a realtor. My husband was a realtor. His family was realtors. And I was also a nurse for the majority of my career, but jumped into real estate as the investor in the early 2000s. And I discovered that real estate investors have a whole different toolbox, and they're playing by a whole different set of rules than I knew. And when we began to see the potential for what was possible in real estate, I got really, really excited. And that is why I am sharing it with you, my friend, because there is so much potential in real estate once you begin to see the opportunity. Okay. So let me scroll down. Let me make sure I'm getting all my stuff. Um, yeah. When we allow our nervous system to be regulated and we are in harmony with ourselves, when we are in balance and we are open to opportunity, whoa, things appear, opportunities appear. Putting transactions together that you didn't know were possible a few days ago, all of a sudden are possible because you learned a tool, a trick, a way that other people do things. And so my offering to you as the abundance activator, if I didn't say that in the beginning, I'm Heidi Palende, the abundance activator, and I love real estate because of the potential. It has so much to offer the buyer and the seller if you know how to create a win-win solution. So there's and real estate, of course, has so much to, there's just so much to know. So as we jump in and start talking about these things, I am looking for smart realtors and investors and lenders who want to come talk with me, share your knowledge, give us the goods, my friend. Tell us what is important to you. How do you evaluate property? How do you evaluate a good deal? How do you know if you have a good deal? So if you are a realtor and you don't know what I'm talking about, let's talk about the foreclosure list. Okay. So before a property ever gets to the multiple listing, there are people that are having problems. Life is hitting them in the face and it is not fun. So there's divorce, there's hospitals, there's sickness, there's death, there's, stress. And people are, they're trying to survive. They don't have time or the energy to deal with a house or a property or the bills, right? It's not on the top of the list. And so the seller, who's a distressed seller because their, life is happening, they need a person to help them, to show them the way, and an investor who knows the way and is willing to create a win-win solution, not take advantage of anybody. So when I'm talking about the real estate, the foreclosure list, There are people that believe that if you buy a property off the foreclosure list, that you're somehow a scumbag bottom feeder, and that you shouldn't be doing these things. But the truth is, my friend, there are opportunities, and there are sellers who would love the opportunity to move forward with some cash in their hand if they know how, right? And that's the offer that the investor gives them, or a realtor. They look at the situation, they know how to evaluate the deal, they can look at the loans, they can look at the numbers, they can look at the margin, and they know how to put it together. They can see the value. This is what the difference is between a real estate investor and a realtor, from my opinion. Okay, because when I was a realtor in the early days, um, when there was a property that wasn't, I didn't know what to do with that. Well, let's give it to my contractor. Things, the deals that I could have assigned or sold, we just handed them over to the contractor. He fixed it up, and then he gave it back to us as a list back when it was time, if that was the deal. So, there are opportunities. We just don't know how to structure them. We don't know, we can't see the gold mine that is hidden in plain sight. So, thus, the one of the resources I have on my stand store is called the hidden gold mine, and it is ways, there's 6 strategies that our real estate investors use all the time, and 3 bonus tips for realtors. If you are a realtor and you're wondering, how can I use the tools I already have and start creating more cash flow? This will give you 3 tips of you can create more cash flow with the tools you already have in the foreclosure list. So, where do we get the foreclosure list, right? Well, it is a public record at the county, but you don't want to drive to the county and dig through stuff, right? So find yourself a data source, get it from the title company, however you do it. Find your foreclosure list and start to notice which properties are going through the process. How can you offer a win-win solution to that seller so that they can move on with dignity and create a win-win? So anyway, I will be back tomorrow at 3:30, and then next week, Tuesday through Friday, from 3:30 till 10-15 minutes. Let's just chat about real estate. Let me know when let me know if you'd like to join me. Okay, message me and jump into my stand store. Hidden gold, the hidden gold mine is the resource. It's a free little ebook. And if you have found this information helpful, click like, comment, let me know. I am just getting started here. And the reason I am putting my real estate knowledge out there is because I have a foreclosure database coming that I'm going to be offering in an affiliate stream to create more cash flow for myself. So thanks for listening, my friend. I will see you tomorrow at 3:30. Bring your questions. Bring the people that have stories. I would love to hear from them. Okay, bye-bye.